Dans le port d'Amsterdam, il y a des marins qui chantent les rêves qui les hantent au large d'Amsterdam. Dans le port d'Amsterdam, il y a des marins qui dorment.
Hi everyone. I'm here in spirits, or rather should I say in cyberspace. I'm doing my presentation and it's called Walking to the Beat of a Different Drummer. And it's about the walking in the city as the article stated by Michel de Certeau. I don't know if I pronounced it right, but here goes. I'm going to be reading it, so you'll see my eyes bouncing back and forth. Okay. When I used to walk out of my building, 221 Prinsengracht, I wasn't sure in what direction I would be heading. It was a toss-up. I like taking different routes to my destination. I try not to walk the same street twice. Of course, sometimes I have no choice, but most of the times I take a different path. On this particular day, I decided to walk left. Walking to the beat of a different drummer, I roam aimlessly, each step leaving a trace of remembrance, a trace that covers other traces left behind by other people taking the same path. The path is random and unfamiliar. I resist mapping my course, but walking through the streets of Amsterdam is different for the native dwellers. The people that have lived there all their lives experience something different. It is an everyday existence for them. They come out of their houses, go to the store, pick up a paper, pick up bakery goods, but an outsider coming in as a tourist sees Amsterdam and expects certain things. They expect the coffee houses, the red light districts, the bars, and some come for the Van Goghs and the Anne Franks. Whoever walks the street of Amsterdam, whether it's an outsider or an insider, the stories will always be different. But one thing is certain, that the story's representation of the cityscape transforms space into place, a site of stability in a particular spot. Recording my walk with my camera, I don't recall the faces and objects which appear on the screen. The camera captures everything unbeknownst to what I could recall at the time. For example, I don't recall the two men dressed in white who hop off the curb to let me pass. The sidewalks are narrow and busy. I don't remember the restaurant on the left getting ready for the 4 o'clock dinner crowd. Maybe if I hadn't taken my camera, I would have been more observant of the details in the streets and of the people. Approaching the intersections, I decide whether I change course or continue on the same path. In my walks, I imagine the stories. I imagine how Anne Frank might have walked along the same path. I imagine the Nazis searching. I imagine Ed van der Elsken photographing everything on the city streets of Amsterdam. I imagine the jazz greats in the out-of-the-way coffee houses or cafes playing their melodic tunes which entrance the patrons and onlookers alike. Walking along the canals, I listen to waves of water as they swirl by the engines of the tourist boats making its way through Amsterdam. After living in Prinsengracht for about 6 months and traveling on foot over familiar terrain, I felt that these streets carried a special meaning for me too. When I left the Netherlands, I became homesick. The familiar was taken away and I felt disconnected in my new surroundings. But when I walk, I always remember the movie The Naked City, where the narrator says in the beginning of the film, "There are 8 million stories in the naked city. This has been one of them." Was this what Michel de Certeau was referring to when he said in his dedication for the practice of everyday life? To the ordinary man, to a common hero, an ubiquitous character walking in countless thousands on the streets. Okay, so how about a challenge? The next time you walk around Amsterdam, Paris, or Berlin, take your camera, hold it up to hip level or eye level if you're comfortable, and record your walk for 3 minutes. You'll be surprised at what you have missed. You know, there'll be things that you missed, details that you didn't even know were there. After all, the camera doesn't lie. Thanks for listening, and see you sometime soon.
Le long des berges mortes dans le port d'Amsterdam, il y a des marins qui meurent pleins de bière et de drames aux premières